Sweet. So thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Natalie Donis and I am the Director of Public Relations for Latinas. I'm also an attorney here in Florida. I practice civil defense, primarily doing product liability defense. And thank you for joining us today in this event. Our two lovely guest speakers with us today, I'll let them introduce themselves and kind of give their background. I do understand we had another guest speaker that was supposed to be here today, but unfortunately because of a family incident that she couldn't appear. But thankfully, Sylvia definitely helped us out and stepped in. And coincidentally, you guys, we're all VLS grads.
I
So
was
we
gonna
all
ask,
went to the
I was like
same law school.
familiar, but I don't know from where. Um,
Okay.
what uni?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's so awesome that we all came from Vermont. So I'll let Andrea, you go first. You introduce
Okay.
yourself, and then we'll let Sylvia go.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Moreno. I'm one of the founders at Latinas. I am also an attorney. I'm a federal prosecutor as well as administrative and fiscal law for the government. I've been practicing now since 2020, and I currently work in Maryland.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. My name is Silvia de Duc Silva. I am located here in Miami, Florida. I do some private criminal defense, but mostly right now I got my hands full with immigration. And I do practice immigration in all 50 states. So I was actually just in Orlando like a couple of hours ago and like drove here to be home because I was supposed to be able to make the live. So I'm usually just everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. We actually did some pro bono stuff in law school for asylum.
Oh,
Um, Me and you, yeah, right? You came with me, right?
oh, you talking about me or with Sylvia?
You, Andrea, was it? Did you come with me to the asylum thing in Texas? Maybe
No,
you didn't.
no, we did Puerto Rico together.
Misremembering, but we did some pro bono work doing
We
that.
did.
It was really good work. All right, so the basis of this event is pretty much to talk about Latinas in law. If a lot of you aren't familiar with the stats, there really isn't that many Latinas in the industry, and I think from today's discussion you'll realize even us confirming the same. I mean, I'm the only Latina in my office. That's an attorney. The rest are primarily, if there are Latinas, they're mainly staff. And the saddest part is it's not just Latinas. It's also like just females of color in general, I think, in this industry that is lacking. And so if this event could be somewhat of a change or a boost of someone's confidence to apply for law
Yes,
school.
I love that you're
And
doing that and that we're doing this
yeah, I mean,
together. I was researching the
I
other
think it's
day, just
important.
yeah, just for fun. I was researching. I was like, oh, let's see what the stats are. And I think in law, I think it's like 2.3% of all lawyers are female Latinas. And I'm like, what? I feel like we have so much power with such a powerful voice that we represent so little of the population. So it's amazing that we
Yeah.
can make these connections and hopefully, whoever's watching or motivated to, thinking about
To
it,
join.
to go ahead and go for it. There's a
Well,
space for
so
us.
okay, so in y'all's perspective, jobs. We all have different types of work. I, I mean, Silvia, I'd imagine you being at least with immigration stuff. Do you see more Latina lawyers at least?
Um, I see a lot of men.
Yeah.
Not a lot of females. When you walk into a courtroom, the sad part, when I first started, I was, a little more nervous, a little more quiet. It was always like, here, you're the translator. Or if I went with like my male counterpart, it'd be like, say hi to them and not me. And I'm like, what? Now, I think I learned a little bit to own the room a little more and to wear higher heels, which just makes me feel, you know,
More empowered.
more empowered. So it's a learning curve, but it's a lot of Latin males. I think in the field it's just a lot of males, not that many females, and much less Latinas. Even though I'm in
Yeah.
Miami and I do have friends that are attorneys and they're women, but I don't see that many.
Yeah. the sad thing about what you just said, I think Andrea has got dealt with that before, right, Andrea, where they thought you were the court reporter or something.
No, they actually thought I was one of the defendants. They
Oh,
thought they thought I was bringing them back there, like all the defendants, like they were just gonna come in and I was gonna tell everybody their deal. And so when the opposing counsel just like completely bypassed me, and I was like, yeah, actually, I am the prosecutor. And he was like, he was so apologetic, like he felt so bad. And I was like, it's okay. But with me, I'm the only female in my office, and I'm also the only person of color in my office. So, and then just in general, because I do work for the Army, heavily male-dominated industry, right? And just in general, law is. So, I get it. You have to deal with, little remarks here and there, just like mistakes that people make. But I felt that as long as you correct them once, they're pretty much okay. And, moving forward, everything's okay.
But at least
yeah.
in Miami, what's really inspiring, which I do see a lot. Most of the judges in Miami in our circuit courts, and a lot of our immigration here in Miami are mostly females. So even though you don't see that huge crowd of female attorneys, it's really empowering to walk into a courtroom and to see a woman of color, Latinas, being judges. It makes it that makes it a little better. And they honestly they look out for you, they always they just look out for you as a woman, I feel.